Hi, I'm Kaylin, your abundance and love coach. I'm also co-founder of the Golden Flow system of accelerated well-being and abundance. I have been working with people for 15 years, helping them with everything from their relationships to things that they want to manifest in their lives. I've also helped couples with getting through issues in their relationship, all the way to performing several marriage ceremonies. In this video, ladies, I want to talk to you about who it is that you married or who you are in a committed relationship with. When it comes down to it, ladies, it really comes down to one of two things. You're either the girlfriend or the mom. And I want you to be really aware of this, because whether it's your relationship we're talking about, or as in the case of a friend of mine who is sort of interested in someone who's married to his mother kind of thing. And I don't mean that, of course, literally, but I do mean it literally from a real energetic perspective. And you know, she's feeling like he's really in love with her and hoping that he will leave his current marriage and come to her. So we're going to talk about some of the problems with this and what I want you to look out for. Because ladies, I want you to have a spiritual partnership, a hot relationship in which you are the girlfriend, in which he just wants to make you happy. Now, how fantastic would that be? Whereas when we are in relationship, ladies, with a man who is really in a child role, things really change. I hope just from those words you can get a good sense that that's not really what you want to do. If you're having to mother, if you're having to take care too much, if you go out in public and you feel like you have 3 kids instead of the 2 that you gave birth to because your husband or your relationship counts as the 3rd, then you are in a relationship with a young boy. You're playing the mother role. The difficulty with that is that in a totally functional, happy, healthy relationship, we don't have hot feelings, sexual attraction and sex, and intimate feelings towards our parents. We're not supposed to. So when you have that kind of relationship, if you've let yourself slip into a mothering, taking care of kind of role, you'll also find that this is a relationship where you don't have his same attention the way you did when you were dating. Also, you'll find that he doesn't bestow gifts upon you, and he doesn't look at you with this puppy love, I just love you, you're so beautiful look. Instead, he might look at you like, now what? Because he feels like you nag him, he feels like you basically kind of boss him around, and although he appreciates that you mother him and take care of him, you're not the hot girlfriend, and he will very likely find one. What am I saying? I'm actually saying that in this kind of relationship where you're in the mother role, not in the girlfriend, or, you know, we could call it a wife, we could call it a partner, but I want to use the word girlfriend because that implies the fun, that implies the romance, that implies that you two are out running around having crazy dates. If you're not in that girlfriend role, then this is the kind of relationship, the mother and the child, where that boy who is a teenager goes out and gets a girlfriend. That's the kind of relationship where we're going to see a lot of affairs. So when I'm helping people, this is one of the first things I look for. If we've got a dynamic where she is in the mother role and he's in a child kind of role, I know some of what is out of balance. And now I've told you some of the greatest difficulties with that. You know, it's no fun. It means that you're going to be fighting. You're going to have perhaps some rebellion from him. It's really not the kind of relationship that you want. The reason you have this kind of relationship is because you ladies have taken control when you really shouldn't have. If you are, you know, into the law of attraction, then you recognize, you know, and frankly also if you kind of recognize that there's a flow to life, then either way you're going to see that you have to tap into more allowing in your life. When you allow your children to grow up, you allow them to be the bright, wonderful child that they are, and I mean your biological children, they do. They're going to meet your expectations and go beyond. When you don't allow things, you tend to run into problems. And that's because a place of disallowance, law of attraction, then will attract greater disallowance. It's kind of like saying that you're not letting things just be, you're trying to muddle them up, so law of attraction brings you more muddling up. Another way simply of saying that is that in the flow of life, we have to allow things. A river naturally has its own flow, and you can't move a river. You can make a dam, but I want you to notice that when you have a dam, you don't have the same sort of flow, the same wonderful things that happen in a river, and you have put forth great effort to build that, and you've got to be careful that it doesn't crack. Do you see where I'm going? That's the same with your relationship. If you're in that mother role, you have taken too much control. That's what a mother does. A mother has to be in control of her biological children. How do you fix that? Well, I have some videos on that, so please check out the video, Ladies, Let Him Make You Happy, so that we won't go into that here. Now, back to this dynamic. Even if you are, like my friend, interested in someone who's married to his mother energetically, and you're thinking that you're the hot girlfriend, well, you are the hot girlfriend, and he'll have a lot of hot times while you're on the side. Why? Because at this point, one of the things that's going on is we've got some dynamics set up. We have the mother and child relationship set up, and for some reason, which has to do with their psychology, he's happy there in the sense, not that he's going to tell you that he's happy, but he's comfortable. There's something that never grew up. There's something going on there where there are certain power games going on, and that keeps him comfortable. It's a part of him that never grew up, and that's why he's in a child role. He may be a biological man, but emotionally and psychologically, he really isn't, because he's still picking a parent. So you want to be careful of that. What happens then is the needs that are occurring in that sort of relationship are different. He needs to still feel safe and secure with someone caring for him. When you are in that place of feeling safe and secure for someone to care for you, then they care for you, and you could fight them just like we did when we were teenagers, that kind of thing. But you don't have that hot romantic relationship. Why? Because sexual feelings and the girlfriend are very separate than the mother, and having your mouth cleaned by your mother, having your mother make your bed. It's just two different energies. So they're not going to blend. They're two different sets of needs. So now my friend who has the boyfriend, well, she's fulfilling the girlfriend need on the side, the way a teenage boy is going to have a girlfriend. But what happens if he and his current marriage do break up, and he does get together with her? One of two things has to happen. Either he has to mature and grow up that young boy psychologically, emotionally, energetically, and become a man so that he and my girlfriend can now have a relationship in which she's still the girlfriend. Or what generally happens is that the pattern is repeated. Because he has this psychological need to be cared for, to be mothered, when she's no longer the girlfriend, if they were to get into a committed relationship, his need for the mother comes forward. So who is he going to want to mother him? Her. In other words, she's going to go from being the hot girlfriend on the side to, in the relationship, going right back to being in that mothering role. Do you see where I'm going, ladies? Yes, some of it is the man and psychologically where he's at. Some of it is also you, though. In other words, why are you attracting that? Why are you grasping that control? You need to be a mother if you have biological children. You need to decide whether or not that's what you want if you have a man in your life. If you want the hot relationship where you're the girlfriend kind of thing, then I need you to change your mind. You need to start to look at whether it's worth being in control. I know what you're thinking, but Kaylin, I've got these things. He doesn't take care of this, he doesn't do that. I know, just like your children, right? However, he's not a child. And initially, when you guys got together, you were in this together. So you need to go back to some of that. Again, you're going to find this at some of the ladies, let him make you happy. Because you really want to, if you want to change this dynamic in yourself, you want to work on releasing the control. So be sure to think about that. Because ladies, if you want a boyfriend who sometimes brings you a rose, sometimes takes you out to romantic dinners, or maybe more often than sometimes, in my case, who proposes a dozen years later again and says, let's renew our vows. Well, there's nothing more wonderful for most of the ladies I've ever met than that. Most of us ladies, we really want a man to look at us, and pierce us with his look that says, you're so beautiful, I'm so in love with you. If that's what you're after, be sure that you are playing the role, or changing and starting to play the role of the hot girlfriend and not of the mother. Because you already had a mom, he already had a mom, you might already be a mom, but do you really want that in your relationship? Let's change it up, ladies. Let's make sure that if what you want is the hot boyfriend, make sure that you're being the hot girlfriend. I'm Kaylin. Thank you so much for joining me in this video in which, ladies, we've talked about what kind of relationship you have. Be sure to look and see what kind you have and change it up if that's what you would like to do, so that you can change your energy. That happens when you change your mind and you start to change your behaviors, so that law of attraction can then change the game so that you can then have a boyfriend. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. I have several other relationship videos and far more coming. And I'd love a like. Thank you so much for joining me today.